What up, Brandon Cole's podcast? This is the pre-show before the show. We got my guy B Dub, EQ, and Jim Jamal will definitely be in. So we'll give you guys enough time to get ready to get set up before we actually start the show. But B Dub, there's something that's going on with the Pivot podcast with um what's his name? Shannon Crowder, um, Fred Taylor, and also Brandon Marshall.
Yeah.
And what was Chad Johnson, Ocho Cinco involved in that too?
Kind of, sort of.
Yeah.
If you remember, and even Ryan Clark, even though he wasn't there.
Ryan, yeah, correct.
The original show, the original, it was
I Am Athlete.
I'm Athlete. It
right.
Was Brandon Marshall, Fred Taylor, Shannon Crowder,
right,
and the receiver from the Colts. His name slipped me right now.
Was it Reggie Wayne?
Reggie Wayne.
Yeah.
So that was the original four.
Right.
And then I think toward the end of the first season, maybe the last 2 episodes or so, or maybe the last episode, they had Chad Johnson on there.
Right.
And I guess he kind of clicked well with everybody.
Right.
And then so Reggie Wayne ended up leaving, and then they ended up placing him with Chad Johnson. So season 2, it was the 3, Brandon, Shannon, Fred, and then Ocho Cinco.
Right.
And all the way up until they kind of split or whatever. And actually, Chad did stay for a little bit, but now even the people that they brought on, because since Fred and Shannon left, they kind of went through a rotation of hosts. They had this one guy. He's I can't think of his name, but he's an editor. I mean, not editor, sports writer. They had Shady McCoy on there. They had Pac-Man Jones on there. They rotated through a lot of different people.
Right.
And now it's really just kind of Brandon Marshall himself. And it's funny, I was looking at his one of his most recent videos that he just uploaded. And normally, within a day, they're already hitting 10, 15, 20,000 views, sometimes even 100,000 views in the first day.
Mm-hmm.
And he dropped a video, and it barely had like 1,300 views. So I don't know. B Marshall kind of doing bad over there. That's why I think it's all for clout, bro. Because like you were saying earlier, off camera before we got started, Fred and Shannon they spoke on it. They took the high road because they never really just spoke on it. The only thing they just kept saying is the money didn't add up, the business wasn't right.
Right.
And so we just had to go our separate way.
Right.
And they just left it at that, and they just been doing their thing, and the pivot just been blowing up. And now you got Brandon Marshall, like he keep kind of just saying stuff. And now most recently, he went on Cam Newton's show, podcast, whatever, and was just throwing shots, man. Like just throwing crazy shots.
He was letting them fly. Yep.
Everybody was catching slugs. He throwing slugs at Shannon Sharp or everybody, like just, saying that basically his perspective is they didn't know how to handle their business. So he looking at it like, so this is basically what he said in a nutshell. Well, I had this idea. I brought them in, and right from the get-go, I told them, like, hey, you get with your lawyers and figure out what you want to do, because this is what I'm going to do. And then from his perspective, they waited until it blew up, and then was just like saying, well, we should get
they want to invest. Yeah. Yep. Right.
So he made them an offer of, we can either do a per episode deal, or you can invest and get some equity.
Right.
And apparently Fred was the only one that was interested in investing. Everybody else was cool with doing the episode deal, according to Brandon Marshall.
Right.
But from his perspective, Fred wasn't getting his business right. He was procrastinating. Now, Fred Taylor is saying, nah, that ain't what it is. Right from the jump, I told you I wanted equity, and you kept telling us, like, basically it's all love. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. That type of deal. Like, but I got you. It's all good. I got you. We'll figure it out. And Fred is saying that Brandon is the one that's dragging his feet. Like he ready to put money on the line. Like, what do you need? What do you need? And Brandon Marshall's just, kind of like, well, we'll figure it out. We'll talk to the lawyers. We'll do this. We'll do that. But meanwhile, Brandon Marshall is getting the incorporation, trademarks. He's doing all of this stuff.
It's blowing up.
His name.
Yeah, everything's blowing up.
And
everything is blowing up.
The other guys.
Yeah.
And then it blew up. and they just felt like it wasn't a fair deal, so they went their own way and did what they did.
Right. But you know what though, B-Dub, like I can see exactly, how Brandon Marshall feel or whatever, because he opened it up from the get-go and said, hey, look, I got an idea. You guys invest in it. Let's rock and roll. Now, when things are rocking and rolling, if you haven't invested in it from the get-go, okay, now I see why Brandon Marshall feels a certain kind of way or whatever, because look, I gave you an opportunity, but you remember like what's his name? He says today's price is not yesterday's price.
Yeah.
That's just what it is. It's not, today's price is not yesterday's price.
And that's pretty much what he was saying. He's like, hey,
right.
I tried to get y'all to invest. But here's the thing, Mr. Know-It-All. This is where we have the issue. Because I would agree with that.
They supposed to be boys. They're supposed to be boys.
If that is the case, and that's how it happened, then I think most people would agree. Like, hey, man, I told y'all we tried to get whatever. But what Fred is saying is, and what Shannon is saying is, okay, that's what he said. But what he did was something different, because if I'm trying to pay you, I'm like, okay, what do you need? What do you want me to invest? And you telling me, hold on, we'll figure it out, and you procrastinating and putting me off until it blow up, because it was supposed to be $100,000. That was the original evaluation. So $100,000. Everybody put in $25K.
Right.
We are 25%.
Right.
You waiting and pushing off, and now you evaluating it at $500,000 or $1 million. So now you want me to put $250,000.
Yeah.
Like, no, that's we're 2 years in the game now.
Right.
So
right.
The question is, what's the real truth? So
right. And we
only they know.
Right, they know what's going on. Yeah, but you know what? With a business venture like that, man, a lot of times, when it comes to money is going to be the one that's going to divide everything. And I enjoyed the people, when they first started. It was a great idea, great show. I was hoping that they would actually stick together, whatever. But it is when it comes to money, huh?
I mean, I Am Athlete.
Yeah, I Am Athlete. Right. G-Man, EQ, y'all, you guys knew anything about everything that's going on with that situation with them, with the whole settlement? I mean, Brandon Marshall was he's coming out. He spoke on Cam Newton's show about his thoughts on why I Am Athlete broke up, and there was some situations from both sides of the of the spectrum with complaining about money and business deals and working with each other as far as like everybody making money, but ain't nobody making no money now whatever, because everything is kind of broken up over there. G-Man, you hear anything about that?
I'm just listening.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we were talking about Brandon Marshall.
She over there changing that dang tag talking about G-Man is from Course Account. I ain't no
Oh man, but G-Man, you got any thoughts about that? No.
Well, this is the perfect segue. I didn't want y'all to know that Charlemagne's network has reached out to me, and I have inked a deal.
Oh my God!
Don't get me started early. Yeah. Well, you know what, man? We're gonna go ahead and start the show, y'all. Hold on. I'm sorry.
Let's do this.
Let's go ahead and start the show.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Ooh, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. I wanna talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Corsicana, Texas. What's up, Dallas Fort Worth? What's up, Houston, Texas? Welcome back to another show of the one and only Burning Coals podcast. We are your show hosts. I go by the name of Mr. Know-It-All Reactions. Right there on the side of me, the big fella. He goes by the name of Bougie Weirdo. And right up on the Bougie Weirdo, we have the first lady of the Burning Coals podcast. She goes by the name of Educated Queen, EQ. And right there up next to EQ, right up under me, he is the man, the myth, the legend. He goes by the name of Gentleman Jamal. Yes, indeedy. So we are the Brandon Coles Podcast. Here's where we have fire interviews, hot topics, burning questions, serious conversation, and we say what needs to be said on this show. Welcome again, you guys, to another Tuesday night of another on the 73rd episode of the Brandon Coles Podcast. Who raised you? But before we get into all that, we do have a comment section. If you want to comment on the show, you want you to put your comments to the or you want to put your comments on the show, we'll put it into the screen and we'll definitely read it out. Now, if you want to comment on the show, you want to come on, we have two platforms available. We have a Facebook platform and we also have a YouTube platform. You go ahead and hit that. We'll bring you on in, have you waiting in the waiting section. If you want to give your shout outs, you want to give us compliments, you want to say, how about them Texas Rangers and my Dallas Cowboys, even though we fell short, hey, we welcome it all right? So now that the smoke has been settled and the dust is clear, panel, Tuesday night, another one. How you guys feeling tonight?
First of all, I just want to say I appreciate your lyrical acrobatics of how you just throw the Texas Rangers in there and you ain't never said nothing about the Texas Rangers in this whole history of this show. Now all of a sudden it's y'all Rangers, but it's cool. It's cool.
Boy, B-Dub ain't gonna let me up on that one, man. Dang. Let me make it, B-Dub. Let me make it.
It's all good. It's all good.
EQ, how you doing, sweetheart? How you doing tonight?
I'm good. Hey, ladies in the comment section, thank y'all so much for joining us tonight. And I really want y'all to know that G-Man is from Corsicana, born and raised. So yeah, he is born and raised. Don't let G-Man fool y'all. He is not from Oak Cliff. He don't know nothing about Oh Lord, know it all in this soundboard tonight.
Yeah, I got the soundboard ready to rock and roll today.
But I'm good. I'm ready to get into this show tonight, and I'm definitely ready for our live show. So yeah, we'll be talking about that later on in the show tonight. But how are y'all tonight, fellas?
Man, we doing pretty good, man. I'm actually just waiting to, I've been excited about this show tonight, man. So we got a bunch of great topics we're gonna discuss, and we're gonna definitely have a blast with it. G-Man, I want to give the viewers, the listening viewers, the promo for November the 21st. You the voice, man. Come on now. Yeah.
I mean, you from Corsicana, so go ahead.
Hold on. We got to get into the first of all. Hey, mama.
Hey, mama. What's up, mama? Appreciate you for joining the show.
Could y'all please quit complimenting these old dusty braids?
It's always a hater in the midst. It's always thank you, Mama Sims. Thank you, Miss Ray. Thank y'all so much. It's always a hater.
What up, Will? What up, Will?
Will Melvin, another one joining the show. Appreciate you.
Just a little mimosa, Will. Just a little mimosa. I'm keeping it classy tonight. Yeah.
Get that thing. You gotta get that thing prepped up for Percy.
Baby, there is no Percy. I wish there was a Percy, but if there's any single Percy's watching tonight, I mean, it's almost Christmas time. Yeah. But anyway, I'm just playing. No, it's just the mimosa, Will Melvin. It's just, just kind of keeping it classy. That's it.
Already. So, G-Man, you gonna give them the 411?
I thought we had a whole commercial.
We got a promo video.
Anyway,
I've been sitting out there. Well, go ahead.
Make sure y'all join us November 21st at the MLK Center in Corsicana. I'm sorry it's in Corsicana. I was outvoted, obviously, but we're gonna try to do the best that we can with the venue that we have. We're gonna be there from 6 to 10 o'clock, I believe it is.
Right.
Don't meet us there, beat us there. It's gonna be fun. Like I said, it'll be the first time we're all together. I cannot wait. That is a show that you do not want to miss live.
Right, in person.
Live and in person.
Right.
I can't wait. So can't wait to see y'all there. Holiday season is perfect
Right.
Yeah, you know, I can't wait. I'm gonna say that I can't wait. I'm
Right.
not excited about seeing EQ as much, but that's my baby. That's my baby. I just hope Percy Earl don't get too jealous because I'm gonna be right up on her, you know.
Nah, he's going to East Texas to be with his family for Thanksgiving, so I'm gonna get rid of him for a couple of days.
Okay.
Oh
I know one thing.
There's no such person as Percy, for real.
He ain't lying.
Hey, I know one. Hey, I know one thing. I need Corsicana class 97. Class 97, y'all better be in the house. I know that for a
class
fact.
97, the ones that was sitting in the blue building across the street from Drain that had their own classroom.
Hold on. You can't talk about class 97 like that now. Wait a minute now. Wait a minute. But yeah, class 97, 98, 99, 2000. Yeah, hey, y'all better be in the house. We better see you guys there at the MLK Center November the 21st. Just like EG Man said, if you've been catching us on social media platforms, we've been putting the promo video out there or whatever, letting you guys know that you are invited. It is free 99. It's free 99 for your mind. Come on. We want to see you guys show up. You know, we're going to do this thing in front of a live audience, so we're going to have a great time.
And tell Dre to go on and sit down.
He got his fly, Eagles fly. Well, you know what? They took care of us, whatever, man. But
they didn't take care of us.
Hey, hold on. I had to give them credit, man. But you know what? They were sweating. They sweat bullets behind this game. They sweated a lot. We gave them sweat.
It's just one game. They got to see us twice a year, so we
definitely
we keep it on. We cool. We cool.
Most definitely.
Hi, Janet.
Yep.
Yeah, you definitely get my autograph, but some T.I. Ray Robinson, shout out to everybody in the chat.
Yeah, everybody in the chat. We appreciate y'all for joining. So B-Dub.
What's up? I'm here. I'm over here being bad.
Oh, you over there being bad? Oh man.
Over there cooking up something.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. Oh man. All right, B-Dub, what we got, B-Dub?
I dread doing these shows after the Cowboys. I just dread it after.
It ain't got nothing to do with the Cowboys. It ain't got nothing. But you gonna like this one, G-Man. Trust me, you gonna like this one.
That's what he was doing. That's why he had his little what's the name's avatar there. He behind closed doors doing what he got to do over there. Yeah, we checked it out.
But now, so first up, let's get this out the way. This is not a pleasant story, but it's something worth talking about. So there's a situation that happened in New York where unfortunately a father and his stepson are no longer with us. And it's crazy how it happened. And it's a good lesson in, learning how to live with people and how to communicate. I just put it like that. So we'll watch it and we'll see what's up.
On Sunday night, the result of a years-long dispute over noise between two neighbors.
Based on our investigation, we found that there were 6 previous 311 calls by the people in 3E, noise complaints.
Authorities say Jason Pass, who lives in the Flatbush Gardens complex, shot 47-year-old Vladimir Maturin and 27-year-old Chinwei Mood after going upstairs to confront the family. At one point, you see Maturin appear to hold a pair of scissors to Pass's neck as his wife tries to pull him away. Seconds later, shots rang out as Maturin heads back to his apartment.
Man, you know what? Every time I see that video, B-Dub, EQ, G-Man, it is really heartbreaking because, over something so tedious and something so small as noise complaint to where cooler heads could not prevail in a situation like that. Nobody did know. So you know what? I'm gonna back up. For it to get to that point, you knew for a fact that had been going on for a little while for it to get to that point to where these guys are actually getting ready to get into a comeback to where it led to somebody, to one person, had a knife. He had some scissors, and the other gentleman had a gun in his hand or whatever. So it got real bad to the point to where deadly force was used, and 2 people lost their lives, coincidentally, to a little small incident that really it could have been handled a certain kind of way. You know what I mean? And it's unfortunate that, you know, these people lost their life, and the woman that was there who saw two people perish in front of her, you know, her husband, and lost her son. So with that being said, G-Man, EQ, B-Dub, what are you guys' thoughts when you guys see everything that transpired with that, you know, shooting that transpired in Brooklyn, New York at those apartment complex?
Or so let me go ahead and get the unpopular opinion out the way, because I'm sure there's going to be some pushback on this. And let me preface this by saying I'm no way, shape, form, or fashion taking any type of blame away from the guy that shot. This is his fault. Let's be 100% clear about that. However, I do want to point out that when people are getting into altercation, this is why it's imperative sometimes to not get involved. And I'm saying this particularly to women, right? Because when he had those scissors and he was up in that guy's face, you notice he didn't make any move for his gun. Because common wisdom would tell him, if he tried to pull a gun out, I'm going to see what you're doing, and I have a better opportunity to stop you. I already have the advantage with the scissors in my hand, or I can try to grab you and stop you. And his wife kept pulling him away, which I get what she was trying. She's trying to de-escalate, and I understand that. But when she pulls him away, now there's enough space to where he felt confident enough, because he didn't even know really. You see how he was fumbling with the gun, so he had enough time now to try to, okay, let me pull my gun out.
His damn nerves are kicking in, beat up at that time. You know how serious it is. You gotta. Yeah, I'm sure his nerves was all over the place, knowing you got to shoot somebody. You know what I mean?
You know why his nerves was all over the place? The same reason why when they catch him, he should never see daylight ever again. He went there with intent. That's why he was nervous. He knew he went there with the intent of doing something. That's why he's nervous. That's why his adrenaline is kicking in. That's my personal belief. Because like I said in the story, there have been several complaints about noise or whatever. So it's a sad, unfortunate situation. I hope they find, as of last time I checked, they hadn't found him yet. He's been hiding out, but hopefully they find him and bring justice for his family. But yeah, man, just we have to be mindful of how we interact with people and manage people. Like we all live in an apartment building, we all here, and if somebody one time, that's on you. But if somebody is continuously complaining, because you never know what's going through people's head, you never know what levels people are willing to go to. So, at some point you got to say, okay, how can we figure this out? How can we work this out? And I understand, if I understand it correctly from the news clip, and they were actually in a bigger apartment. It's a pretty sizable family, and they had to move into a smaller apartment. So I can imagine there's a lot of rumbling going on with that many people in such a small space. Not that that's an excuse for him to do what he did, but I'm just saying it's just tragic all the way around.
So who you think? So B-Dub. So who do you think was in the wrong? It was the dude that did
the
shooting was in the wrong.
Of course, like there's no question about that. I mean, there's a lot of angles you can look at. You can say, okay, well, why did he bring the scissors out? Whatever. There's so many points where this could have been de-escalated and stopped. And if we want to cherry pick and say this, that, and that, but at the end of the day, that man chose to take the lives of two people. Period. There's no defense of that.
G-Man, what's your thoughts, G-Man?
I'm just looking in the comment section, and somebody said that the guy he's dead.
Somebody said the dude died. Yeah, the dude that did the shooting.
But don't before I go, don't overskip Ray Robinson's comment. Now, don't give G-Man his.
No, we're not. Get that out of there. We're not doing that this week. I ain't had a chance to dye my beard and do my steam treatment yet.
G-Man, what's your thoughts about it, G-Man, with this situation?
So, from a legal standpoint, okay, initially the guy with the scissors was a threat, a deadly threat. When he brought the scissors to the guy, put it to his neck. Now, also in the legal sense, once that guy turned away and walked away,
should have been over with.
A threat to you,
right?
Because he cannot, the scissors or wherever he's walking away. The guy took, like you said, took it 30 minutes to get it out and do whatever, and then he just started letting loose. And then I guess the son was the one that came in on the second part, and he just slaughtered them. I mean, it's just no other way around it.
That was even more tragic because I think the son, because of where the mother and the father was, the son, he was trying to get away because he was shooting towards the father. So the son was running this way, but unfortunately he was running toward him, which he could have made the argument where I thought he was coming at me.
Right.
And that's why he turned and then fired on the son. That's why I say it's just tragic all around.
It's super tragic. But that's what I call, and I got this from the Boondocks, N-word moment. Y'all ever seen the series The Boondocks? They describe what an N-word moment is. Something to where two rational black people will let something insignificant turn into something like that. And in the cartoons, it was stepping on shoes. You know how it was a thing back. You stepped on my shoes in the club. People started fighting. People gotten shot and killed over stepping on Air Force Ones and shoes in clubs and all that kind of stuff. Because you got to think about it. All that was for noise complaint.
Right.
At the end of the day.
Right.
You got 3 black men dead over noise complaints.
Hot-headed. See, that's what happened, man. When you get hot-headed, man. Hot-headed, that pride gets stuck in the way, and ain't nobody saying, you know what, man, this is not even worth the argument with these people, whatever. Nobody took the route of trying to have a cool, calm, and collected, train of thought when it comes to this. And that's the problem that's the most bothersome part about all of it or whatever, because like you said, it didn't have to get to that route, really, to be honest with you. And I heard what you said about everything, G-Man, as far as with the legal part of it, because you are absolutely correct. But what if, here's what I'll keep thinking about. If you knew for a fact that this had been ongoing like it was, and that there was I ain't gonna say that they knew whatever, but that's something that could have transpired off of it or whatever. Would you think would somebody have a cooler head to prevail to say, you know what, man, I'm not gonna even go outside and argue with this fool. I'll just get, I get police involved with it or whatever, but I'm not gonna sit up here and leave the comfort of my house to go outside and argue with some nutcase that we've been going at it, for a few times or whatever, man. You know what I mean? Had he done that, it wouldn't have been they both would still be here had they would have done that.
If my brother had been born a girl, he'd be my sister.
Yeah.
Right.
Listen, sometimes you just can't talk to people. And
that's what I'm getting at.
One person can be calm, but I have to know the entire background. I don't know if this person was always the initiator and aggressor. This person was just reactive. Regardless, we saw that dude, the dude that was killed, unfortunately, had some size on it.
He did.
Right.
That guy couldn't have took him. I ain't gonna say couldn't, because size doesn't matter in a fist fight, but you know what I'm saying. He was physically intimidating. He was a big guy.
Right.
I don't know if he was the one that was always getting called on or the one doing the calls. I don't know that dynamic of it. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. The end result was tragic because you have 3 black men dead over a noise complaint. Now, another rational question in between all these complaints, as the police department had mentioned, there were several 311 calls. I'm assuming 311 is like 911, or maybe it's a non-emergency 911 call for low threat calls or whatever. There should have been something or somebody else intervening that. Move to another apartment. Hey, can I get somewhere else? They too noisy. There are other routes that could have been taken.
It don't work. Yeah,
it does work like that because
not in Brooklyn. I mean, not in New York, because everybody's so packed tight up in there. It's hard to find space because, for one, those apartments in New York, they're overly priced, and we're talking about little small section. So now the bigger, the more you start upgrading, a whole lot more money you got to spend.
It's not upgrade. It's moving the same. What you paying? $10,000 a second in one, just move me to another one. I'm paying $10,000 a second.
But it's so crowded, though. I'm trying to go ahead. EQ.
Well, I'm just saying at some point.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, EQ.
Go ahead, EQ.
I feel like maybe I'm different. I think different. I don't know. I think this is personal. This because you brought a gun. This beef been going on. There's been some exchange of words before. Because if I come knock on your door and I say, "Hey, y'all too loud. Can y'all keep it down?" and you start going off on me, and we've been going back and forth. Dude knew the old boy was bigger than him, so of course, hey, dude, you didn't have no right to pull the scissors out. So let's not. He's
No
not
joke.
the victim here because you pulled out a weapon first. I mean, you took some scissors to a gunfight, bro. Come on.
Well, he didn't know it was a gunfight.
He didn't know it was going to be a
Right.
But
gunfight.
see,
He didn't know it was a
the thing of
gunfight.
The thing of it is, when you're fighting or when you into it, ain't no rules to that. So I can pull
Yeah,
out
it
whatever
is.
I want. No,
If me and Percy Earl go at it, we going
Percy gonna
hand in
kick your
hand.
butt.
And he pull out that old switchblade
He
with
got
the
a
rust
blade.
on it. He ain't lying.
Yeah, but we don't know all the details. Like maybe
Yeah,
he
we
knew
don't.
that guy had a gun.
Right. We don't
Because
know all the
clearly
details.
they've had interaction before, so maybe that guy has threatened him before, or maybe he knew he
Right.
had a gun, so he felt like he needed to bring something. But I agree that's what I'm saying. Like there's so many points where we could stop and say this shouldn't happen, that shouldn't happen, that shouldn't happen. But what happened to compassion? Like I'm saying, like
Right.
we all
That's
live here.
Right.
If I'm in an apartment and the people under me is constantly coming to me complaining about noise, at some point I need to take a look at that and have some type of compassion, right? Or figure something out. Like, okay, hey, listen, from this time to this time, you know, my kids, this is their playtime, so it might get a little loud around here, but I'll make sure I calm them down at this time. You know, like try to work out something.
Right.
Because for the simple fact that there have been
Fuck
multiple
them
calls.
kids.
And like,
But B-Dub, I'm tell you something though. In New York, don't nobody do no lot of talking like that at all, man.
but that's not
like
a good excuse.
I agree.
Because
I agree.
And I'm not disagreeing with you.
Yeah, I
probably
agree.
Right.
Yeah, I agree.
So now, if that's the case, if we're looking at it like that, then that means we as a community have to stop talking about what so it's just fuck it. It's just everybody for themselves. We can't talk about coming together and helping each other and doing one, and then when stuff like this happen, be like, well, you know, that's just how it is. Like, you can't put both of those things together. So you're probably right, but at the same, what I'm saying is, how do we get past that? That's not right. Even though you're right, that's not right. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We're living in a very sad time when you can't even rationalize or just have a conversation, a peaceful conversation about, something as simple as a noise complaint. It's really bad when we got to resort to violence or murdering someone simply because y'all are too loud. Y'all got kids, y'all know y'all live in an apartment complex or you playing music or whatever. Come on, it's other people there besides you. People have to get up and go to work or whatever. Whatever happened to boundaries, respect, and all this kind of stuff? I mean, we all living in this apartment complex. And the thing about it, unfortunately, that's just how it is when you live in apartments. Somebody's going to be loud, somebody going to be rude, nasty, all of those things. But at the end of the day, what happened to them? It's a sad day to me when brothers can't even have a conversation and try to work things out peacefully without having to, take somebody out. It's this whole situation to me is just sad. It's really sad. It's sad on both ends because somebody's laying loved ones to rest. Somebody, instead of playing a Thanksgiving dinner, they playing the funerals. And it shouldn't even have to be like that because I'm sure this was something so simple that could have just been worked out with just a conversation, and I understand police, maybe in New York, maybe they don't go to apartments for simple calls like that because I do know there are a lot of police forces that are short staffed. But I feel like this was probably something that could have been worked out between those families or whatever. And
if they'd have gave us our reparations checks, everybody could have their own house. We wouldn't have to be on top of each other like that living.
Man, but we'll still find a way. We'll still find a way to be hating and all the other kind of crap on somebody. So that's just how we do.
Well,
that's how we do.
Cut the check and you let us work it out amongst
Right?
Yeah. So we got some comments in the comment section. So Ray, she said that I believe if they call the non-emergency number for noise several times and the police don't move fast unless it's a 911 call, it's sad. Clearly he has been threatened. He went with scissors. It's sad. Okay. Myron said But didn't the whole family seem like it was some mental illness going on? I don't know, maybe it was. That could be a good point. Could have been some mental illness.
Which is another
Yeah,
problem.
Don't know.
so.
Another
Yep.
problem in our community. But yeah.
Yep. Mental illness. Right. Will Melvin said, yeah, but the police wouldn't have showed up. It was Flatbush. Good luck calling 911. They're correct.
What's Flatbush? Is that the neighborhood?
That's like a neighborhood. Yeah. It's a neighborhood, Flatbush.
Don't worry about it, Corsicana. Go on to the next comment.
First, gonna take me to Flatbush. You better shut your mouth.
Janet Roberts said she agreed. And then Will Melvin also said the housing in New York is nuts. You can't just move, especially some densely populated areas. A lot of those apartments have grandfathered in reduced rate. Once you move, you got to pay regular price. Yeah,
so
and it's mad crazy. And then a lot of those apartment complexes out there, those walls are paper thin. Especially you got somebody living on top of you and living on the side of you. They paper thin. Any little noise, you can hear what's going on in somebody's, in somebody's apartment complex or whatever. So it's it's crazy. And like Ray Sim said, I don't know if they got it in New York, but he said stand your ground law. Now in New York, they are very, very they are anti-guns. Yeah. So if you got a gun in New York, I'm telling you,
so they don't have the
find it on you. No, not on the East Coast, they don't. You get caught with a gun in New York, if you don't have all your credentials and everything, you're going under for a long time. Because they don't play around with that. They are anti-gun state. It's not like Texas, like you can go get guns.
He think he in the South. Everybody carry guns.
Yeah, no, it ain't like that. That's why a lot of people like to come to Texas, because Texas is pro-guns. You get to keep your arms and everything here in Texas. No matter how many you have, you can keep them. So, but this whole situation is sad. Everything that transpired with the 3 men.
Just in case, personally.
And you know what? Brandon Cole's podcast, our thoughts and condolences go out to the family and the victims. Matter of fact, the whole apartment complex, because everybody felt that one. And in the Flatbush area. So we just, give our prayers and thoughts and prayers, to the
it happened so much. They just went on. There's like, is that apartment available?
Right.
They grimy out there. They get grimy out there.
Hey, you said is the apartment available, huh?
Yeah, is it available?
But check this out. They still, they were still showing the teenager blood splattered on the wall and on the floor.
See,
yeah, it was bad, man.
Man, don't get me started.
Yeah. And you can still pop someone, even they retreat in Texas, they break into your home. And he also said, can we booth the Eagles fan off the line of live?
Yeah. Now where are the moderators at? We need to start getting moderators. No Eagles fans allowed.
No Eagles fan allowed. Stay your butts at home. All right, B-Dub, what we got next, my guy?
All right, so given this whole situation, it could be said that potentially the people involved in this situation maybe wasn't raised right. So that's a good segue to go into the next topic. If 2 or more kids come from the same exact household and raised the same exact way, but they end up different, is that the parents' fault?
People can have the same parents, live in the same house, and raised by the same morals, but one still can be a crackhead and the other one a preacher. So you can't say it was how somebody was raised. It's the decisions you choose to make.
B-Dub, EQ, G-Man, how you guys feel about that one?
So EQ, this was actually stolen from your Facebook page. You the one made this post, so you go first. You tell us your thoughts on it.
Right.
Okay. So we can look at this from different angles. All right. You can be raised right, in my opinion. I mean, we all gotta have our different definition of what being raised right is. We all have, I'm sure all of us, except G-Man, we have the similar morals and values. But I think when you become a certain age, especially an adult, they get on my nerves. When you become an adult, you're responsible for your actions. We always try to we always try to resort back to, oh, well, they didn't have a dad in the home. They didn't have a mom in the home, or that's just how they were raised, or they're a product of their environment. Yes, but at the same time, while we're growing up in that environment, we have seen what our environments do to people. And so I can't be 50 years old out here doing stupid stuff and try to blame it on how I was raised. No.
And you are 50.
Shut up.
You ain't lying.
Hey, you better stop. You in this soundboard, I can't stand you. I just think, and I've known families that, they were all raised in the same household, 2-parent household, and, had a good life from what I'm assuming on the outside looking in, and they all turned out differently. One is in prison, I think one in and out of jail, and then the other ones are doing pretty good. To me, I don't think that, choices. Nobody told you to go out there and be a crackhead. You chose to go out there and be a crackhead. Nobody told you to go out there and be, make a whole bunch of kids. Those are choices. You can't blame that on the fact that, well, my daddy wasn't in the house. Okay, we get that, but that should have made you be a better man than what your daddy is. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe I see.
But
I got to push back on that a little bit.
Go ahead,
Okay, it's cool.
So
I want you to.
Now, I will say this. I agree with you to a certain extent. I think at the time, and I've said this before, once you recognize that your upbringing wasn't right, then at that point, now it is on you to start changing it. And I would say to at least by 25, you should have figured that out. By the time you turn 25, you should know what your parents did right and what they did wrong, and then it's up to you to start fixing the stuff that was wrong. So I agree, starting at 25 and up. But I still think the parents play a big role in how you set up to make your decisions, because most of us model our decisions after our parents. Because if you look at it, a lot of people end up doing exactly what their parents did. So the parents do play a role. I think it's kind of a cop-out for some parents, because here's the thing. If your kids turn out great, you're going to take credit. If your kid turned out to be a doctor or lawyer or athlete, oh yeah, I knew it, my baby. I told y'all my baby was gonna be this, be that, but then they turned out to be a crackhead. Well, I raised them right. I don't know what happened. They just made their own decisions. So it's like you gotta take responsibility on both sides. So I do think the parents play a big part in how you turn out, but up until a certain point, like I said, once you hit adulthood, that part I do agree. Once you hit adulthood. And I would, like I said, I'll give you to about 25. You got about 25 to make excuses. By that time, you old enough and you've been around enough, you've seen enough to understand where your parents might have went right and where they might have went wrong and what you want to do different. And then it's your responsibility to change it. It's not their responsibility to fix it. They did what they did. They did the best they can or whatever. Cool. So it's not on them to fix it. It's on you to fix it from that point on. But it's still your parents, how they raised you and the stuff that happened to you is going to affect you up until that point.
Yeah. But you know what? Like you said,
hold on. Myra, who got a classmate like that?
He said, "Yeah, the class."
Is it
no, it was your class. It was your class, EQ. Now she act like she don't speak no English. What? No, you heard it. You heard it.
We doing good now, but I mean, you're right, and I know he probably is. I do have a.
He said, "Y'all three, you listen." He telling you.
What happened, EQ? Go ahead.
G-Man, hush.
He ain't lying.
Go ahead, EQ. And what are you saying?
Oh no, I was just saying. I was just trying to clarify who had a classmate that's a crackhead. But I just feel like I agree with B-Dub. At some point in life, you gotta own up for your own decisions. Will Melvin, you a mess. But you can't just play the blame game all your life. At some point, you have to be accountable for you too and your choice.
Right.
I'm gonna cook this topic when it's my turn.
Go ahead, your turn. Go ahead.
Oh.
This is the thing.
I'm gonna log off. I'll be back.
Yeah. Get. So me and my sister, we talk about this nature versus nurture argument all the time. Name any big family where they have 4, 5, 6 kids, and all of them became.
There's always a
super
black sheep.
successful.
It's
There's
always a black sheep.
a
A black
one-off
sheep.
or something.
Yep. Always.
They were all raised in the same house, right? But then it's going to be one or two that, and I don't care what parents say. I don't even care what people going, because I know the truth. Let anybody have 4, 5 kids. You got a favorite. Oh, did I say that? Yes, I did, and I stand on it.
Damn.
Parents, you do have a favorite, and it's not like you don't love them all. You gotta love them. You had them; they're yours. But there is one that closely aligns to your beliefs, with what you instilled in them, what you taught, and they are, as Dion, he said it too. It's like people that are real honest. You may not, when they little, maybe not. Let them get teenage age. You gotta have a favorite.
So you can't love them all the same. You gotta love
You
them
can love
all.
them the same, but it's still gonna be one. It's gonna be one favorite.
And see, that's the thing. People get those confused. Love is different.
Love is
Yeah,
different.
you can love them the same, but I agree 100%. They parents definitely got favorites.
You got favorites.
Because I guarantee, if you got multiple kids, only one of them know your insurance information for when you die.
They know everything.
they
know the policies, the bank statements.
All of that.
One of them, they know if something happens, this one is going to take care of my affairs the way I want it. Another one going to mess up. They're going to have their hand out.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
Now let's be honest. Now I know that because I come from an adopted family, right? I was the only one that wasn't. And listen, it's a deal. And it's crazy how me and my biological sister are so much alike, and we never even raised together. Didn't know that we were the same, and we reflect back on the time that we didn't spend like it was parallel, even though we grew up in totally two separate households. There's a nature versus nurture real argument. But you also understand that if you have multiple siblings, if you're only child, you don't get it. You don't understand older child, middle child, baby child syndrome.
It's a pecking order. It's a pecking order.
That's a real
It's a pecking order. Yeah.
But you name me a family where there was 4, 5, 6 kids, and all of them were super successful. Michael, listen, and sometimes the shoes are too big. You know how Michael Jordan kids don't come up. How you gonna follow that? Right. And all his boys played ball. They wasn't. Michael Jordan and his mom and father were, none of them were even 6 feet. He come out 6'6", right? Then he had these kids. Everybody like, especially athletes, they always want the kid to be another, people, society looking for the kids to be another version of them. It don't always work out that way.
Well, Marcus kind of did it. I mean, Jordan played with Pippen. Marcus played with
Damn!
Drop the ball on that one.
Damn!
Oh man.
Nature versus nurture, Will Mel. That's what I'm talking about. Nature, your gene, some things your DNA is just there, and I'm proof. Like something they say you get from people like your granddad is somebody you didn't even know. You get that from your granddaddy, from your grandmama, your uncle, your auntie, and you probably never even saw these people growing up. There is a argument to be made. It's not always that, but what do they look for when they look for precursors in serial killers or child abuse? Most domestic violence abusers did what? Overwhelmingly, they said what? They saw that, or their parents were that, or their fathers were that, whether they were there to witness it or not. There's a such thing as genetics that do have a part to play. And then, like it is, you got to have some self-accountability, though, right? You can't lay down and say, well, because my daddy wasn't nothing, then I get a crutch and a cop out and say I can never be nothing. No.
Mm-hmm.
But to say, but you can't totally discredit that either. Right. They both come into play. Now, as an adult, it is. But I will push back on a 25 because a 25-year-old man he's still 16, 17 in the head.
In the mind, right.
In the mind. He's super immature. Guys are super immature. Men, that's the thing. Like, men shouldn't even think about getting married before the age of 30.
Man, tell me about it, man. We need to have this conversation with one of my boys.
Say that again. Men shouldn't think about what?
Or trying to have no family, no none 30. Of that before you hit 30. Yep.
You're not even mature enough.
Not mature enough to
we
handle
talk
that.
about- and
You're
we
not.
talk about-
I might agree with that
You're-
about the
you're
marriage
not.
thing,
we
but
not.
I still think
You're not.
Scientifically, we don't mature as fast as women do.
Yep.
To the ladies' credit, they man, listen. I'm a girl's dad. Listen, girls are a lot easier to raise up. They get it quicker. Man, listen. It's a difference, sir. Guys are slow with the maturity.
You ain't lying.
but still, because I look at it like this.
How you look at it, B-Dub?
The average person, by the time you're 25, because most people out of the house by the time they're 18, especially we talking about in our community, which that I don't agree with. We be so quick to push our kids out the house, it's crazy. But
I think the older generation, not our generation.
By the time you're 25, I feel like you've lived enough life. Because if you went to college, then you've experienced. But even if you didn't go to college,
if you went to college, you didn't have a college 3 years, B-Dub. You ain't figured out life.
But you've seen things. You see other people. You see how other people live.
But you ain't living life because
you ain't living life, right? You gotta live life, brother. Yeah.
Your first 21, 22
disagree.
years. Think about it. Hold on, B-Dub. If you let's just say you got out at 18, you went through 4 years of college. You 22. Then you got this piece of finding a job and getting to places. Now you supposed to already know life. You ain't lived for 3 years.
No. That's not what I'm saying. You got to hear what I'm saying. But let me answer that first, because you go to college. Okay, you're not going to college with 3,000 people that's exactly like you. You're going to college with a diverse group of people. So you're gonna meet people, and you're gonna meet people with different backgrounds.
Now you went to Prairie View. Y'all all alike. So y'all all came from the hood. Y'all all came from the South.
You ain't lying.
And the hood.
When you talk to people, like I use this for example. Like this, I tell people this all the time. We grew up poor, right? I didn't know I grew up poor until I got grown. Cause the way my mom handled business, the way my dad handled business, we didn't have everything, but we had things. And the emphasis was more on who we are as people and not material. So I didn't grow up really into material stuff. So it didn't affect me like that. But then when I got older and I started meeting other people and they tell me about their time, I'm like, man, I ain't had that. Like I remember one of my friends, I went to go visit him in high school. This is what made me start looking at things different. When I went in his room, we go in the room and play video games. He had a whole bedroom set. I had that brown metal frame with the box spring and the mattress on it. The curtains, my mom bought a sheet set, a comforter set, and took the extra flat sheet and made curtains out of it. So the curtains matched the bed, and that was my bedroom. That was it. This dude had nightstands, headboards, dressers, all this stuff. I'm like, because where I grew up, that was only for the parents' room. Mom and daddy had nightstands and dressers. The kids just get that brown frame, and you gotta make sure you turn it the right way, because if you don't, you're gonna walk by it and hit your shin on that little metal part sticking out.
Ooh.
And a box spring and a mattress. That's it. That's all the kids get. So
that's all you needed.
That's all we needed.
But think about it. When you made the least money you ever made in your life,
that's when
you was fine, right? The more you made, now all of a sudden you needed more.
Hey, who raised
what our parents figured out, because if y'all parents are like mine, we probably all make more than our parents did.
Most definitely.
Guess what? They handled money way better than, because they didn't need they learned how to live off very little in most cases. We made more than our parents do, and our parents, trust me, in most cases they had better credit, they had very little debt, the whole nine. And we think about when we were younger, man, we lived off of a third of what we make and had everything. We made 3 times we make now. We like, oh my God, where's the money come? You didn't have that.
Right.
You were 20-something.
But the cost of living, back then is way. It was So that's the reason why you couldn't do that now.
Because the more you make, you feel like now I'm supposed to have a bigger house.
I agree. I agree with that.
To be able to wear this and
you want to upgrade. Yeah, you want to upgrade. Yeah, you want to upgrade.
Most of our parents, not all, some of us parents, but most of our parents, like, I ain't never left the country, and and we're gonna talk about the different generation. No, my mom and dad married at 18, 17 and married to, she passed away.
Right.
And her ring cost, $50.
Right.
Women now, my ring got to cost $100,000, and I can't eat at the Cheesecake Factory. And and you can't even stay married a year.
Yeah, you don't spend thousands of dollars on the wedding. Them courthouse wedding be lasting longer than them
courthouse
yeah,
keep ring
be lasting.
100 years.
We 16 years in the game. straight out of Harris County Courthouse.
There you go.
already, B-Dub. Already.
But the thing about it though, what I'm saying is when I started learning about other people's backgrounds and started recognizing like, okay, well maybe we did grow up a little bit different. That's when I started to think, okay, now how do I want to go going forward for my life and for my kids? That's why, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, once you, whatever that age is, really, really, truly, because, okay, like you said, I can concede that some people are different than others. Some people take longer to get it. But the point still remains, once you are conscious, when you hear somebody say, my mama didn't, my daddy didn't, I didn't, at that moment, now it's on you. From that moment, because now you know. Now you know, okay, well, my parents didn't do this for me. So, I know when I got ready to go to college, I didn't have no college fund.
But B-Dub,
that's not something that was provided for me. So I know going forward, okay, this is something I need to plan for. I got 18 years. My son already got more money for college now than I had because I didn't have nothing.
But B-Dub, I think what Jim and Jamal is saying, like when you 25 to 30 years old or whatever, because life ain't start life until you hit, your 20, late 20s, early 30s or whatever. Adversity, you got to get through that. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe that you're getting through a whole lot of adversity and all that when you inside of a college setting. I don't think you're getting hit with, life, life and adversity and all that when you in your college years. When you're going to college, you ain't get hit with a lot of stuff like that, man. I can't agree with that because it
depends on how you go. Now, listen.
Life ain't life when you're in college, though, B-Dub.
You have a thing of ramen noodles. You have ramen noodles.
Life ain't lifing.
That's life.
Dorm room.
It ain't lifing. Adversity. I'm talking about adversity and all that, brother.
Ramen noodles and little bitty meals every day. But you knew you had a roof over your head. Man, what I wouldn't give to go back and live in the dorm room and now go back and watching Saturday morning cartoons and eating a bowl of cereal, watching Super Friends every morning. When you come adult, life be life, boy.
Okay, but here's the thing, though.
I
think mentality plays a part in it too, because I think we tell ourselves that because we constantly telling our kids, oh, you still young, be 25, 26, 20, oh, you still young, you got time. No, you don't.
We don't tell our boys that.
You don't.
You tell them boys you got to grow up, boy, earlier, because you got to be a man. Girl, man, please. I'm a girls that girls have their hand up until they die. My sister's out 40, 50, they send their hand out, daddy. They're just okay. Let my they like, boy, you a man. It's different with boys and girls. That's all I'm saying. It's a different. You can't group all the age groups.
Okay, that's fine. But it still doesn't change.
They get whatever they want. They just
once you conscious of the fact that things was not done right for you, it is now. I'm not saying it's instant, like, oh well, I didn't have this, so boom. No. But what I'm saying is now it's time for you to start the process to reverse it or to fix it or to do whatever you need to do. Because you can't say, I don't have a house yet because, this person over here, they family left them money for a down payment and I didn't have that. Okay, cool. Now you know. So now you got to figure out, okay, what do I need to do to get this down payment for this house? And not only that, now you got that knowledge to carry forward for your kids. So this one I don't understand. Like, I don't understand how we keep repeating the same cycle. Because if you conscious enough to know that something wasn't right, or you didn't have this, or I didn't have this advantage, I didn't have that advantage, how are your kids ending up in the same situation?
That's true.
So that means you 30, 40, 50 years down the road doing the same thing to your kids that your parents did to you. How do you get that far?
It's every generation's responsibility to improve upon the last one. That's
correct.
True.
Yes.
But I just don't think a 25-year-old, I don't call a 25-year-old man, he's still a boy.
You still up on the umbrella of your parents too at that age. You still up, you still up on the umbrella. Get off from under the umbrella.
Car insurance at 20, not too long out of college. You still a little bit taken care of. I get what you're saying, as Will Melvin said, I think the transition happens at between 25 and 30.
Right.
But watch this though. If that being the case, why is there so many other 22-year-olds out there that have a home already? That when they meet somebody,
they don't even buy homes no more.
No, that's not true. That's not true.
No, but show kids now, the younger generation don't believe in homes. They like the lofts, the apartments. People
still buying homes. I don't care what nobody says.
I know they still. We're talking about the trend. Not of course people still buying homes. I'm saying the younger generation don't believe in buying homes. Like our parents, my grandparents, they were buying homes at 18, 17, 18. If you was honest, you didn't have your house in no 18, 19.
Nah, it's okay. It's still a thing. It's still a thing. Trust me.
It's a thing, but I'm saying they get later and later as the generations pass because a lot of people don't want they always make it seem like it's not even financially better to buy homes now. To what?
I agree. That's
what I'm saying. So I'm saying this it's a trend that's changing. That's all I'm saying.
No, I hear that, but here's my point in a nutshell though. And going back to the whole conversation of parents and where they fall in responsibility, because there's plenty of kids outside of our culture when they graduate. First of all, when they are sophomore in high school, they already know
my culture. Go ahead.
But we need to care because we need to start reading their playbook because when they are sophomore in college, in high school, they already know what college they're going to. When they get to college, the money is already there.
He ain't lying.
When they graduate college, they already, you got people coming together. Okay, cool. We meet in college, 22, 23. We date for a little while. By the time we're 26, we ready to get married. I already got money saved. We bring the money in together. Okay, now we go get the cheapest house we can find, just whatever we can afford for us two. That's our starter home. We work on it. We put some equity into it. Okay, now we 30. We ready to start having kids. Now we done sell this house. We done made a $50,000, $60,000, $80,000 profit on this house. We take that money, carry that into the next house. That is a thing. But we don't have that because we telling our kids, you got time. You got time. Just enjoy yourself. You got time. No.
You're talking about girls.
I'm talking about.
You talking about
people.
Girls.
I'm talking about people,
boys, girls. They got time, not the way.
If we gonna keep it a buck, we know when it comes to our culture, we play around about our future too much. That's why we not figuring it out until we.
You gotta say that for the money series, B-Dub. That's the money series. You giving up too much.
Hey,
my bad. Let
me. You doing the DJ Envy type of thing going on over there, man. It's a money series.
Don't use this like he
is right.
B-Dub, you start going over there.
Yeah, but you put it to our money series, man. You know we do that. Now, that's the whole series.
Legal money. We do legal money.
Hey, but we do have a guest want to join the show about this particular subject. Give it up for Will Melvin, everybody. Big Will style. What's up with it, man?
Hey, what's up, guys?
Oh man, what you got for us today, Mr. Will Melvin?
Yeah, I just wanted to chime in because that what Bougie Weirdo came up with that was perfect because that was kind of like where I was going with it with some of my some of the things that I was writing, and it's one of those things where it's in our community we don't plan. There's no planning. Everything is just kind of off the seat of our pants. So we'll go through generations after generations, and the same thing will happen. So we'll say, it's one thing to be like, okay, you're a certain age and you recognize things that are wrong, and then now you have the power to change it. But then you also have this. You're also raised from 0 to 25 to not plan. You know what I mean? So then you still have that in your subconscious when it's time to do things. You may be able to recognize the problem, but it's actual action. And I think the reason why other communities are able to at 25, at 22 to set their kids up for success is because they saw it. They saw their parents working towards it. Because you can't give your kids something you never had.
Right, and I was gonna say that too, Will Melvin.
Because we'll sit there and say, oh, I want my kid to be a millionaire. I want my kid to be a brainiac. I want my kid to be X, Y, and Z. But you're not that. Like, how can you give it to them? See, my parents were pretty bright. They like my mom, she graduated high school like before she was able to drive, which was crazy. But my dad, he was pretty intelligent as well. You know, he was a computer programmer back in the 80s. So I mean, you and I guess they passed that on to our to their kids because you know it's three of us, and you know we all have an education. We all do pretty well, and it's one of those things where there has to be that expectation early on, and the parents, you have to see the parents doing it too, because my mom, my father's since passed away. He passed away in my 20s, early 20s, but my mom, she's still going on. She's a 6-figure earner, so right now.
Right, right, right,
And
right.
so when you see that, when you see that, that's that's the barometer now. You know, so parents also, like if you're in a situation where you're maybe not making money and things like that, and you have children, you also have to be mindful like what they're seeing. So if you're not climbing out of your situation, they're going to see that's the comfort level. That's the level where I should be at.
You ain't
So
lying.
they're either going to fall slightly below that or just slightly above that. That's where it is. You know, that's the line for them. So you have to be setting examples, not just having an expectation of somebody to do better than you when you're not presenting that out there as the expectation.
Right, right, right.
I believe that happens. Like in our generation, you got to, you know, if you think about it, as I stated, our generation did better in a lot of ways. Not every ways, because somebody would say, well, this and they did this better, whatever era. But we on top of our kids' grades a lot more heavier than our parents were on us, right? Because we understand it takes education, it takes this. We want better. Every generation has to prove upon the one before it in order for us all to succeed.
Right.
But as you said, you can't give something that you don't know. A lot of us grew up on Cosby, Different World, all that. So we kind of had an exposure to the importance of education versus our parents. They didn't need no college education to figure it out. They were just worried about living day to day, putting a roof over their head, feeding all these kids.
That's it.
So I'm saying now
we
got experience. We grew up saying, hey, education is a vessel, right? And that history, that's another conversation. That all our kids are not going to go to college, and sometimes trade school get you there just as well. But that's another conversation,
right?
But we all have to. It is right. We all have improved. In my opinion, I guarantee you, most of our generation, you better off or had the opportunity to than the generation before you, and you probably expected more from your kids than you did because you know during your lifetime I could have done this better if I had a reset button. If I knew then what I know now. Trust.
But it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that a lot of our cultures don't have that same type of generational passing down information like that or whatever. Because a lot of us still, you talking about generation, still they still in that same vicinity or that same mindset of actually just only thing they passing down is a lot of pain, a lot of heartache, a lot of all that or whatever. So they're not really passing down no information with them because
at least acknowledging mental health and all that now.
Right.
Back then, it wasn't. What's mental health? Like you gotta understand if a kid was hyperactive, he got his butt whipped.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We at least like, you know what? I guarantee you, we whoop our kids less than we got whipped.
Most definitely.
Here's two things to respond to Ms. Nordahl and the G-Man. Ms. Nordahl, the reason is it's a lot easier to stay in our hurt than to heal. That's why, because we have people that every family probably has at least one person, if not two or three, that has figured it out. And then they go back and they try to get that information. And what happened? You bougie. You too good for it. You don't want to listen to it. So that's not on that person. And number two, G-Man, we actually do have a reset button. The reset button is with our kids. This is the problem. we can't let our pride go, and we don't want we want to enjoy the reward, but the reality is somebody's got to be the pioneers, and the pioneers don't normally get to enjoy the reward. So my child's gonna live a way better life than I did, and my grandkids will live a better life than him and a better life than me.
They're supposed to.
I'm not gonna get to join in that. My life is gonna continue to be middle class. Normal.
Your life means nothing once you have kids. You understand that?
Facts. So I'm gonna keep living my upper middle class life, and that's what it's gonna be. But my kids will live better than that, and their grandkids better than that. But
why?
We don't.
Why though? Because you have to
because I'm setting them up.
Thank you.
I'm not just sitting back.
You sowing that seed, B-Dub.
You sowing the seed.
So that's
Right.
my point. So
Yeah.
people say everybody says they want their kids to do better. It don't matter what you want. Life don't give a shit about what you want. What are you doing to make it happen?
True.
Exactly.
So that's why I say we do have a reset button, because just like I
I'm
said,
saying you personally, your success is measured by your next generation. We understand. I'm saying, imagine what you could do if you took the information you had and could put. I know beat up.
No, I'm with you.
Oh, so we're gonna take 60-year-old beat up today and give all that knowledge and information in the 8-year-old beat up, and you go forward. You okay?
I'm 59,
you be dialing Jeff Bezos, right? That's what I'm saying. You don't have a reset button, but you live through your kids, and your success is through your kids. This is why you hard on your kids. This is why we don't accept. We come up like a C was enough, right? No, you come home with a B. I got a problem with it because I know somebody in that class that got an A, and you telling me that it's somebody in that class that can do better than my kid. It ain't happening. But
no, I agree. I agree with what you're saying. But my point is, we have to make that switch. We have to take it off of.
We are the switch.
Stop worrying about us. And you have to
do it change,
because everything that I didn't know, my son is going to know.
Right.
But not only is he going to know it, I'm also setting the foundation, because that's another reason too why kids don't do better. We say we want them to do better, but I'm gonna smoke for the rest of my life. But I'm gonna tell my kids don't smoke. Smoke is bad for you. But I done already made my choice. It don't matter.
You do what I say, not as I do.
You don't smoke. You don't smoke.
Do as I say.
You know.
No, that's fair, because if I smoke and I'm getting health problems, just because I smoke don't mean I can't tell my kid not to smoke. By the way, I don't smoke, but I'm just
you can tell them. You can tell them. But what's the reality of them actually listening?
Wait, so it's like, okay, when we come up and they was pushing these credit cards, and you in college, and you know what, and you took one because they gave you some money that you didn't have. You won't let your kid take it, right? I took it. I took it, but you better not take that credit card. They got me, and I've been paying. I paid $10,000 on a $600 credit card with 10,000% interest. I'm not gonna let you do that.
You know what's crazy?
I did that. Like Hope said, I did that, so hopefully you won't have to go through that.
Right.
And you know what's crazy? So this is, and I'm just gonna use my own experience, because back then, see, they don't even know now. Back then, you don't fill out no application. They would send you an active credit card already in your name, and you just start using it.
Right.
And you know what I did with that first card I got? I went bought a bedroom set.
Because you had that damn airbag.
Because
you wanted the complete set.
I didn't have a bedroom. I don't have to, because the way I grew up, the only people in my family that had bedroom sets were the parents.
Yep.
No kids in my family had bedroom sets. So I thought you have to wait till you be a parent and have kids get a bedroom set. So when I was 19 or 18, 19, I started getting them credit cards. I had my own apartment. I went and bought a badass bedroom set. But now
you started sleeping on that air mattress, wasn't you?
Man, I don't want to talk about what my closet looked like.
You couldn't get enough leverage on that air mattress.
I'm gonna go back.
Will Melvin, go ahead, Will Melvin. Hold on, go ahead, Will Melvin.
I said I wanted to piggyback on what B-Dub said earlier about being the pioneer, and generations back, the elders are the generations back. They had 3 vehicles to be able to be pioneers for us, and a lot of us, or a lot of them, did not participate in it. And one of them was life insurance. They felt like, oh, my kids are gonna kill me to get the money, and it's like, it's not even about that. It's about leaving something for your next generation. And when they were younger, they could have taken advantage of that. they had salesmen that came door to door to offer that insurance, and they still turned it down. Another one would be starting their own business. A lot of people think a business is like this big endeavor. It's not. It's a piece of paper. You just fill out a form. It's an LLC. It's a form, and you pay money. You pay money. It comes back, and it has your little name, Will Melvin Industries or whatever. And
it allows you to do so much.
Will Melvin,
tax
that sounds like
savings wise.
That sounds like a porn. Will Melvin. Some reason that sounds like. That sounds like.
Will Melvin, I have a question for you.
Yes, ma'am.
What does the notorious POK? What does that mean?
Ooh, you trying to find
point of contact. We'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, you have to figure that out off camera.
Okay, I'm an English teacher. Hold up, I'm an English teacher. So
and contact with a K.
First Earl finna hit upside her head. Doing too much cheesing over there.
Yeah. Well, Will Melvin, man, we appreciate you for joining. We appreciate you for continuing this. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
There was one more point too, because so with the business thing, the statistics show that 1 in 108 Black people own a business. Check this out. I think it's 1 in 56 for Latinos. 1 in 56 own a business. 1 in 34 for our Caucasian brothers, and 1 in 10 for Asians. And if you look at that, the incomes of those groups, they fall in line with the business ownership. But the third point, also home ownership. That could have been something that our earlier generations could have set up for us a lot better.
Now, a lot of them did. We the ones keep selling grandma's house.
Well,
right. Grandmama and them own, all our grandparents own their house.
Land and everything. We got siblings, we got aunts and uncles they get into a rage and they can't agree to disagree and they sell everything with them, man. That's a problem.
They trying to leave the country. They trying to leave.
Yeah.
In the South, a lot of that happened, the migration.
Right.
When you get out of the South, like North, Midwest, and things, there's people that are in those congested places in New York and those congested places in California and wherever, Chicago, and they're not owning homes and not setting up the expectation also. Not just to own the home and have the people in there freeloading. You got man 30 years old still living in grandma's.
Everybody got a man.
Every family got a man. And when grandma dies, man's still in the house, not paying nothing,
ain't paying taxes, ain't keeping up to
Yeah. And then somebody give him a call and offer him 10 G's to swoop up that house.
And he doing it. Yep. He'll set it up.
10 G's. Take that.
Yep.
I can smoke good with that.
Yep. EQ, you got a question? You said you got a question, EQ?
Yeah, I wanted Will Melvin to tell me what POK stands for.
You still want to know what that POK means?
Y'all trying to tap dance around it. I'm trying to get to the point. Y'all playing.
Ooh.
Percy at work tonight, so I got time to play.
Well.
I'm just playing. There's no such person as Percy.
Speaking of Percy, he actually sent a message for you, EQ.
Huh?
All right, Will Mel. Hey, hold on, B-Dub. Hey, Will Mel, appreciate you for coming on to the show, my guy. Continue to keep showing your love and support for us, brother. That's what the meal welcome, man. Go ahead, B-Dub.
She said he got a little message from Percy.
What Percy tell you?
It ain't playing, B-Dub.
Uh-oh. Y'all can't hear it?
Now we can't hear nothing.
All right, don't worry about it.
No, we see it now. We see it now.
We can't hear it.
Oh, hold on, let me see.
we was going. It's not playing.
I'm gonna let it start over. This person Earl message to EQ. Hold on, give it a second.
Please come home. I got bills and lonely. Damn. Please come home. I got bills and lonely. I got beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, lamb, pork.
Oh man, you funny, man. Oh
Man.
man.
In case y'all don't know, that's the infamous Percy Earl.
That's if it's Perps Earl. All right, you guys, we gonna okay. You guys want to talk about the next one? We're gonna just we'll touch on the next subject. What you guys what you want to do?
It's up to y'all. I got tamales waiting on me though. I'm kind of ready to.
Okay, all right. We'll go ahead and do closing.
I gotta go pick up my baby. Okay.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do closing. G-Man, what you got, my guy?
F them kids. F them Eagles. Yeah, F them Eagles. But no, for real. Shout out to all the people that in the chat. The chat is on fire tonight. I appreciate
it. Was
everybody, man. I love it when the chat is on fire. But no, real quick. Nobody told you they love you today. We do. Ain't nothing y'all can do about it. And again, the 21st of November, see y'all at the MLK Center. Corsicana. Shout out to the Can. Shout out to Bus 82. And I'll see y'all on the next one.
EQ.
Thank y'all for your support. Thank y'all for tuning in. Ladies, thank you. We got a band together. I'm looking forward to this show on the 21st. If you are in the area, please come out and support us. We would love to see you there. And I'm just looking forward to a great time. And y'all enjoy the remainder of your week. And we love you and we appreciate you and your support.
Right. B-Dub.
Hey man, just like everybody said, man, listen, we day one, day two, yesterday and today, we appreciate you.
Right.
And definitely can't wait, excited to come out, and cut up in person. And I promise we're gonna make Mr. Nordahl leave his soundboard at home.
Yes, we are.
Nah.
You bring that thing down here, you're gonna be in trouble.
But nah, man, this is another great episode, man. Like
thank
you said,
Janet. She says great show. Thank you.
Thank you, Janet.
Yeah, appreciate that so much.
Thank you, Will. Thank you, Brittany. D-.
Thank you all.
Hey, hold up.
Sammy, Myron, Ray, everybody. What's up?
So before we get to the venue, let's go to OMI.
Oh, you didn't see the comment? Y'all didn't play that one comment. Janet says something about OMI. Y'all missed it.
Oh, yeah, because you said you was gonna take her.
Yeah, I'm gonna take her to OMI.
Okay. All right.
Ow.
Well,
Percy gonna be the security guard for us that night. He said he'll do it for free.
Yeah. Well, Brandon Cole's podcast give you the bag moment. Hey, you guys, make sure that you take care of each other, whatever, man. If you got some differences, make sure you find different avenues, different ways to settle them out, because we don't need no more black on black crime. You know what I'm saying? So now that you got the bag, what you gonna do with it? We are the Brandon Cole's podcast. We say thank you guys for joining another episode of Brandon Cole's podcast. We go live every Tuesday right here on YouTube, 8 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. I am Mr. Nordahl Reaction. Right there, we got Mr. Bougie Weirdo. Abundantly, we got G-Man. And then we got the first lady, educated queen. We say thank you guys for joining another episode. We will see you next week.